Yes. Hello
Yes.
and good evening. We just
Hello.
saw ourselves popping up right here on this beautiful table. Norman, nice to have you here. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Yes.
It is Wednesday, May 11th, 2022, on this windy light day for the virtual soaring GP race day number 4 in Boras for the qualifiers. And that's where we are. And this is how we are. And to my left, and to his right, or opposite ways, whichever way it is, Ben Fast, the world champion of soaring, virtual soaring. And
Virtual.
I'm so
Say
I'm
virtual.
Norman Shandowski. Yep.
Norman, yes, nice to have you here. Thank you very much for this nice and kind introducing this evening. And
Yep.
we will follow the fourth day of the Boras virtual qualification races for this final Sailplane Grand Prix. The second one then next year in Italy. And we are in the beautiful landscape of Sweden. And as we already said, it is day number 4. So we had some races ago, Norman. There was day 1, 2, and 3,
Yes, we
obviously.
sure did. And for all the people who haven't seen this, we're going to talk about it in a moment. We're going to show you, and we might not be able to show you the actual scores, but you'll be able to find that actually on Condor. If you go to Condor Club and you go to the Soaring GP, and you can look it up, you can see the incredible competition that's been happening in the last 3 days, and today we're ready for the fourth day. Really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward as well. And just a small hint as well, you can go to virtualgliding.fai.org, and there you can see all the news coming up with small little articles and a few pictures. So you can have a look right there. And but for now, please stay here because magic is going to happen, and it will be a fun race tonight here at Boras in Sweden. Of course, we are not in Sweden. Norman, tell me, where are you sitting at the moment?
I'm sitting right here in beautiful Florida, USA, on the west coast of Florida, on the Gulf Coast, and looking outside. I would say it's 25 degrees Celsius, blue sky. Actually, it's a good thermal weather, good flying today. But I'll be sitting here with you today and talking about the Boras weather and the Boras qualification. Where you been?
Yeah, so it's daytime for you, and it's evening right here in Middle Europe. So I'm sitting in Cologne in Germany, and isn't that nice that we can have the chance to sit at one table and talk about condor races?
Yeah, that's
That's
the beauty of internet. That's the beauty of all the technology that we have all around us. And here we are. Here we are doing
he-
our thing. Huh?
Here we are following this condor race tonight. Sadly, there hasn't been a real race today in real life. So they had another bad weather day there, but there will be a task set it up. We will talk about that in a few minutes after we talked about the last races, which the pilots have to fly today. So it's a fictional task. They are not flying the real ones like it should be, but that's the advantage of flying Condor. You can fly with bad weather outside, even on your own PC, sadly, but yeah, someday maybe we will have a big meeting and fly together.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? Do you think you mean all the virtual glider pilots coming together and flying together?
Yeah, that is a nice idea. I think if you look at other esports, maybe like these shooter games or something, there are these big events where pro teams play against each other. And I know it's a little bit utopia, but maybe we will have the chance someday. And I think there are some thoughts about that already.
I think it's a great utopia. I like utopia. It's all good. Utopia is fantastic. I'll
Yes.
take that. But again, in Boris, in the real world gliding, as we call it, they had first and second day of racing, and they had some really good results. And then they had third and the fourth day. Both days were due to weather uh, canceled, but they're hoping for better weather tomorrow. They were actually hoping to fly today, but it wasn't really conducive at all. and so they canceled it. And but tomorrow the chances are up and higher, and let's see if it's all going to play out, and you'll be able to follow that as well on the website. How do we share this website with you where you can see the do you know, Tim? Do you know, Ben, how we
Uh,
could
I
where they
think we
could
need.
watch that if they want to watch the real life, following the real life?
You can just go to the Facebook side of FAI gliding. That's the name,
All right.
FAI gliding, and then you can have a look at the stream. They posted it there,
Right.
and yeah, just follow it. Tomorrow might be another one. Fingers crossed from here. So, but yeah, we are still in the virtual world, Norman, and we had the virtual gliding had already 3 days happening. So the first day we can talk about shortly.
Well, you want to talk about it now? Might as well. I'll get it done,
Yes,
huh?
let's
Yes, let's talk
let's
about that.
let's
Nothing else to
just
do.
jump into it. I will open my little pictures I have right here, and so we had a good opening task. They flew the real, or they followed the real task of the real gliding, and the overall speeds was quite close to the real one. I think the average speed of the real ones was 109 kilometers per hour, if I'm right. Don't.
I think it was 119.
119. Okay. So we have been slower in Condor as well. It was 116 in Condor. That's very interesting to see that they needed the same time for the task in real life than in Condor, or even have been a bit faster. So the weather setting was very nice, and we got the first 3 places. The first one was Thomas Meyer from Hungary, who flew with.
Not new to this race at all, and I think most people knew Thomas Meyer. And when you see his license plate, or his call name, as they call it, you know that MYR is definitely not to trifle with. He is super strong racer, known for his qualities, and he was very close to you last year, wasn't he? When you were in the finals.
Yes, he was in the finals as well, I think.
Yeah.
But he did a good job for the Hungary team, I think, and flew some good tasks.
Right.
But yeah, this day he won the first day of our competition right here, and he did a very good job. The whole pack was starting quite nice and going to the first turn points. They had one turn point close to the sea, where everybody tried to get a lot of altitude to get onto the headwind section, and it got a little bit blue for the guys, so they had long glides to the next cloud, and there was like 2 gaggles going on. And the first ones with Thomas Meyer and Victor Witold Rotzak in it, they flew it home. And yeah, so we had Thomas Meyer first place, Witold Rotzak on the second one, and sorry for pronunciation maybe, but Krasimir Rasocek. Is that correct? Rascovec. I don't know. Maybe you can teach us one day.
Christian, what if we get him? Maybe we get him one day to talk to us in one of the live chats. And he's from Croatia, and his call name is Kilo Hotel, and very good result as third. We have also Alex Holzwilder, the Dutch guy, and his call name is Alpha Echo X-Ray, and he came in fourth, very strong. And then Kuba Jędruskiewicz,
Yeah,
in Poland.
that sounds good.
That sounds good, right? Right. I think that's his name, and his call name is Kilo Juliet. And in number 6, we have Artur Zuik in his Alpha 33. He seems to be showing up quite strong up there in the top. He came in 6th, and we'll see him also in the other competition days. See how that's all going to play out. Then we have, who else? Oh, here, the first German, Helmut Kühne.
Helmut.
Foxtrot 9. Helmut. I think he's one of our oldest competitors, and boy, he is strong. And where Helmut is, you always see Frank Schwertfeger, 09 or 09 in number 8 on the
It's an
first day.
Oscar 9.
Oscar, we don't do zeros, right? I
No.
apologize. Thank you for reminding me. We don't do zeros in the alphabetical order. We only do Oscar.
Yes.
Oscar 9. And then in 9th place, we have Mihaly Knaus.
Knaus.
There we
Yeah,
go. The Hungarian.
these Hungarian guys and Polish guys, how they are pronounced. The last one is Zbychok, and the 10 one, it's not the last one because there were like 35 other finishers.
Right.
But that's it for the first day. So they had a good race. Meanwhile, we can see in the background already the guys joining the server. So we will come there in a few seconds. We might speed up a bit here, Norman. We will jump to the second competition day where
we have second competition day. We have still 8 minutes to 8 minutes and 50 seconds to join the actual race. So we still have plenty of time before the start will go ahead. So we're good in timing here. Let's go to task day number 2. Task day number 2, competition day, race results.
Yeah, so they followed the real race as well, and this time the Condor pilots have been a bit faster. I think it was like 93 or 95 kilometers per hour in real life, and today they have flown with 100 kilometers per hour. That's the first one, Stuart Hanschel from United Kingdom, who won the second day. Congrats to him. Followed by
really nice. And by the way, the comments that I've been reading and hearing about, that they're very happy that the speed or the tasks seem to be so realistic compared to the real day. So because of the speeds that they're producing are very similar to the actual race results, and so they're very happy about that. The pilots are, which is really, really nice to see and hear that. So super good for the organizers, and that's a great compliment, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, on the second day there was second place for Arne-Martin Güttler and third place for Witold Rotzak. So we know Romeo Whiskey already. Third place for him, so enough points. And we jumped to the third day already. That's yesterday. There was the first fictional task. And who was the winner of the day, Norman?
The winner of the day for the third day, no less, was again Witold Rotzak, Whiskey Romeo Whiskey. And second was Jérôme Genem. And third was Asa Ditzik. And those three had a incredible race. I was watching it the entire race length, and those guys were duking it out, and it was really, really tight all the way to the finish line, where Alpha 33 Arthur was so good all throughout the entire race. He was leading most of it, and then in the end he made a little tiny mistake where he lost his advantage, and Witold and Jerome are not to trifle with. They took right over, says thank you, and they won by seconds, by 10 seconds, 15 seconds max. I mean, 16 seconds, that is such a small margin to lose. Such a bummer. Incredible to watch, and really fun race.
Yeah, I totally agree. We have watched it together a little bit yesterday, so it was a lot of fun. Fun to watch and suspense. I hope we get some kind of this action today as well in the fourth competition day, where we jump right into now. Maybe we can just slightly go through the overall results while I am joining the server and see the weather briefing and all this stuff.
Yeah, I already have it loaded up, but let me go to the overall results. Might as well talk about them. And we start from the top. It's Romeo Whiskey, Witold Rotzak. In first with 2,822 points. Then we have Thomas Meyer. It's in second with 2,688 points. We have Arne-Martin Güttler in third with 2,472 points. We have Kresmir Hastorchevich. Oh, I messed with that one up. 2,438 points. And then in fifth, we have Helmut Kühne with 2,075 points. And we have in sixth, we have Scotch, the Polish guy, with 2,074 points, just 1 point less. We have Harvey, or Arvi, or however you want to say the French word, French name, 2,050 points. Arthur Zwick has 1,921 points in ninth. And in 10th, we have Ronnie Lindell with 1,827 points. And then we go down the list. 11th is Gerd Bodenhausen. 12th is Frank Schwertfeger. 13th is Stefan Beach. Then we have in 14th Alex Holzwilder. 15th is Vaidotas Pasvenskas. In 16th, we have the American Dennis Simon. 17th is Jerome Janin. 18th is Mihaly Knaus. 19th is Tim Matzen. And 20th is Darius Eskis.
But
Sorry about that.
yeah,
Those are the top 20. And we could go on. We have a total of 52. Actually, we have more than 52. We have 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 57 pilots overall. And some of them have not scored at all. Should we talk about a bit about what the regulations are in regards to this is qualifiers, right? So in the qualification during this Boras qualification, only the top 2 will advance to the World Championship in Italy. So our goal is right now to be in the top 2. And if you don't make it this time, there's many other competition qualifiers coming in the future where the pilots will have another chance to reach the top 2 to qualify for the World Championship in 2023 in Italy.
Yes, that's the plan. And so for today, we will see who will get the next points towards this goal of
right.
pilots.
And the weather today for this fun task, we have, what do we got? We have northwesterly winds, I see.
Yes, we can maybe jump into the Condor view so we can have a better view right now, what's going on the servers, and then we talk about the weather, which you can see right there.
Okay, well, let's go for it.
There we go. So most of the pilots already joined in, and we can see the weather. We can go through the weather setting in Condor right now. So what's the wind today, Norman?
So we have the northwest wind direction of 314 degrees, and the speed is 18 kilometers per hour. So it's a nice little strong medium light wind. Light turbulences, not too much to worry about it. The medium variations, so we're all good there. What do you see on the thermals?
Yeah, well, we have a cloud base of 1,400 meters with a low variation, so they all should be, or most of them should be at this altitude above the ground level. So we have a moderate strength with the variation of medium, so expect thermals around 2 to 3 meters maybe. I think that's quite good weather for Condor. We have wide thermals today with a normal activity and a high flat activity and high streeting. So with this wind, there might be some cloud streets in the northwestern direction.
That'd be nice to see, because that's when you hang under the clouds and just accelerate and stay up and hardly lose any distance or any height, and just soar along and see if you can make it quickly. And let's see, actually, what else we have here. And of course, again, it's the 18-meter class. So we're always back in the 18-meter class, and the most planes that are flown in these competitions are the Ventus 3 or the Yonkers S3 18-meter class. So these are the 2 planes that are being used in this competition. You can choose another one, but most people won't.
Yeah, these are the top ones in Condor right now. People are still trying to get the most out of the Ventus or the JS3. So, but everybody's flying with 48 kilograms per square meter. So everybody should have the same chance.
Right. And then today we also have, we have that regulation, and we have, what do we have? We have penalty. What kind of penalties we have today? We have cloud flying. It's 60 points per minute, and that's quite a bit. Height recovery, that means when you crash if you happen to crash with somebody, it's a penalty of 200 points. And if you want to turn on the thermal helpers, they are also 200 points per minute. So that's quite a bit of a penalty right there if you want to use that. And that's how we do that race with the rules and regulation in that part. We've talked about the planes, we talked about the weather, and we're missing anything? No.
I think not. Of course, there are some regulations that are coming from our side, from the FAI virtual gliding. So there's a maximum start speed of 170 kilometers per hour ground speed, and you have a minimum altitude for your finish line. It's 400 meters MSL.
Okay, MSL stands for means sea level. So 400 meters means sea level. And if you look at the task for today, it's basically like a what do you call it? It's not rectangular, but it's rectangular, but it's different.
It's not
a specific word.
Rectangular, but it might be rectangular. Yeah.
How long is the task today?
We have 246 kilometers of pure flying. They will leave Boras in a northern direction and then going to the Vetternsee Lake. It's not a sea, it's a lake. That's a German translation. Sorry for that. So we are flying first north. It's around 40 kilometers, and then going to the east. And
right, that's the turn point 2. That's actually the turn point 1 will basically fly right into the wind. So we have headwinds all the way. Then from 1 to 2 we have a crosswind to turn point 2, and then we're going to have straight tailwind to turn point 3 and to this lake. So they're having to fly onto this lake or to the sea, onto this island where the turn point is in the middle of the sea, and then flying to turn point 4, which is also crosswind, a long stretch to crosswind, and then a little tiny take, boop, to the finish line. Again, more crosswind for your way.
What is it like? A little take at the end? Is it like boop?
Yeah, it's a little whoop. It's a little. You have to turn to 4, and then whoop, you have to make a little bit of a right turn, and then I think it's more like 5 kilometers or something, and you're at the finish line. So that's the thing. We have another 9 minutes before the race starts, and the race, for all of you who have never known, this is a Regatta Start, and that means when the start line opens, the race starts, and it depends upon you when you want to cross the line. But as longer you wait to cross the line, the time's already ticking. So GP racing is like Formula One racing, and it's basically once the green light hits, everybody hits the pedal, and they want to cross the line right away. And of course, there are also all sorts of tactics, and Ben might be better to explain that as to what you do. Some people say, don't be the first over the line because you be the hunted dog, and everybody follows you. Or would you say give it a couple of seconds and stay behind it so you see if the thermals are good or better? What do you say about that, Ben?
Yeah, I think we will see different tactics here today. Everybody has his own flying style. And so that's the most interesting part about these regatta races, because you can see where you are in the race. Are you higher than the others? Are you in front of them? Because everybody started at the exact same time. Of course, some will start a little bit later or earlier, and that's this tactic thing about regatta flying. And today we have very good pilots here, like Jannen, who's very familiar to this kind of races, especially in Condor. I flew with him on the last final as well last summer, and we had a lot of good races. He's a very nice, very talented pilot. Not only here in Condor, he's a talented real-life pilot as well, flying in Belgium. So that will be interesting, and we will see all kind of the tactics here today, and we will see at the end which one was the best.
And if you look right now at JJJ, which is Jerome, you see that long line, that blue line with the red and white stick in the middle. That is the start line. That is where you will have to cross under the blue line. You don't want to be above it, and that's the key to the whole thing. When the start line goes, we have 7 more minutes and 13 seconds. Once that line is open and you fly through it, you have to be in that square, in that rectangular square, and that's the goal. And we also see the yellow line. So JJJ right now is actually in front of the line, so he has to go past it and then come back and fly through it. So that is very important. That's an art, kind of like having to time this perfect moment to fly through it without losing too much time, not being too fast. 170k, you said, 170 kilometers per hour. So that's practice to hit that start line. Perfect timing.
Yeah, that's always very hard, but sometimes you can just follow the others because everybody tries to get the start right. And if you find the best ones of it, you can just follow them and go for the timing. But yeah, as you said, it takes a lot of practice, and I think most of the Condor pilots are not really used to this speed limit. So normally we are used to start with VNE with the highest speed possible with the glider without breaking it in Condor. It's most of the time 270 kilometers per hour, and then you cross the line, dip into it, and jump out of it as well. And that's the way we start races in Condor. Please don't never do this in real life, please. that will kill you, I think. But yeah, we are used to this in Condor, and with this FAI virtual gliding rules, we got a little bit closer to the real life starting, and it's not that dangerous. But yeah, we are not, or most of the pilots are not used to it, even though they flew it quite often or have trained it a lot. But timing and speed timing and altitude timing is very hard, even for the pro ones like Arne Martin Güttler is. He's a Norwegian guy flying a lot of real life races as well. And here we can see him in his Vento 3 thermaling at the cloud base and waiting for the race to start, which takes about 3 minutes from now on. And yeah, he's waiting for the others to start as well.
So, and the thing is about the GP racing, again, it's for the people who have never seen this. They're all starting at the same time. So if you see a Formula One racing, everybody gets off the start line, and then it's the race to the first turn. You know, it's the first turn coming. And here it's not the first turn, but it's basically the first thermal. And so you just imagine what it means having 40 planes all going to the same cloud and hoping there's some good lift under it. And they're all starting to turn. And that's usually when stuff happens, you know, accidents, crashes, you know, and it's the same here in virtual soaring, that everybody's trying to get to the same next good thermal. Usually after 1 or 2 thermals, or after about 10, 20, 30 kilometers, you can see where it's starting to spread out because people take different strategies and try to find different clouds, maybe a cloud street. So just imagine, it is very exciting in the beginning to see the start. We have 3 minutes and 38 seconds left before the race starts. And so just watch out. It's a very exciting thing that's happening and that's coming up right here.
Yeah, especially this first turn. So as you said, Norman, most of the people try to catch the first thermal, even though this is a headwind start. So there might be some guys rushing far ahead, taking one little climb and going for the first turn point already, because yeah, as you fly against the wind, it's pushing you backwards with every thermal or every turn you take. Every step I take, I just said it in my.
It's every turn you take,
Genau.
every move you make. That's a nice Sting song right there.
Thank you. We might start a DJ show later, but stay tuned for that one.
Well, we're gonna have some fun, guys. I mean, like, we're gonna be sitting here with you guys about for 2 to 3 hours. If I can't sing some songs, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, just a short information before this race starts. Feel free to chat with us here today. You can write into the YouTube chat or the Twitch chat. I have both open here on my screen, so we try to answer your questions or whatever you have, comments. Feel free to do so. And we have a good friend of mine, Wiek Schönemakers, who's a good pilot in Condor as well. He already wrote like, "Do I see Mr. Fest?" And yes, you see It's the Weltmeister himself, he said.
The Weltmeister himself. You know, you got to make it the German. Do I see Mr. Fest, the Weltmeister himself?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Ben Fest is in the house.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm here tonight, and we will follow this race right now, which should start in a few minutes. Everybody's lining up right now behind the starting line.
Yeah, we have 1 hour and 40 minutes TikTok here, tickety tock. At least I'm in the spectator mode right now. I'm watching it, and 1 minute and 30 seconds to be exact. So at this point, the pilots are lining themselves up to be on the right spot, where they feel like this is where I want to go, and the hearts are pumping. People get nervous, you know, like, oh, where do we go? What do we do? So excitement's happening, guys.
Yeah, Ronny Lindl. It's a bit low here for the start. It's only 1,290 meters at the moment, and the starting line is at 1,200 meters. So he has not that much space to, or that much altitude to lose for this speeding up, but let's see what he does with his timing. If that works, I think he's good to go. And he's in a different position. It's always important to put yourself on the right spot at the starting line. As you can see, like Ronny Lindl, he can start on the complete right of the sector and aiming for this first cloud towards turn number 1, which is right in front of it. Right in front of him, and all the other guys are a little bit off. They are a little bit to the other side and aiming for another cloud. So Ronny has here has his own chances right now, as the other field is moving up, and we are going to start the fourth
10,
day.
8, 7,
Yes.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go.
Let's go. The fourth day of the qualifyings of virtual Sailplane Grand Prix final. And the qualifiers are starting. And the first one to hit the sector is Ronny, the 8 kilo. Is it 8 kilo? Yes, it is. Just reaching
we
the
have
line.
T. Butchkin, Henske, Sauch, Knaus, Pansken, Jennen, Güttler, Hilkemar, Mittel, Redondo, Petz, Meyer, Schwertfeger, Rotzak, Statsinas, and then we have these HF, Beach, Hastrovic, Janken, Matzen, Zack, and so on. They all started, and some people restarted for some reason. Maybe they were too fast, too slow. Don't know why, but boy, it's happening now. And super strong. It looks like an armada of planes going straight to turn point 1, looking for the first cloud, and hopefully to find one.
And we have 2 sides right here. We can see the overall standing right now. Guy in front is Tango Bravo Zulu. Thomas Butkevicius, maybe in his Vento 3, having a good speed at the start. You know, the speed we are seeing on the bottom left, that's the ground speed he's flying. And at the moment, 160 kilometers per hour. And he's just continuing with this low altitude. That's interesting to see. But as we said, they are on a headwind section. And
we have different strategies already right from the start, because the start line is so wide. Some people chose the left side or the right side, and you see some people, let's say JJJ on the left, they choose the left, and many of them followed, and it's a massive gaggle going on over there. If you want to check out JJJ Jerome, that'd be a wonderful one to see, because there's so much going on to the left. Whereas we're looking at Stewart, the British guy who won 2 days ago, or the second day, is still trying to find the next cloud. But the first gaggle is actually already happening.
Yeah,
what I'm seeing.
It's the perfect timing, I think. Just joined this first
There we go. There we see it. Massive gaggle going on.
Yeah.
And the top of that is Jerome, who's leading right now in that. And man, these guys are crazy to fly so close to each other. It's such a close proximity in an airplane. So much can happen, but this is what happens in GP racing. You look at it, that's it. Oh, and there's the first one. Boom, collided. You'll see it in a second. Watzak collided with Gerd Bodenhausen. They're both going to recuper, but they're going to get penalty points for that.
Yeah, they touched each other in this thermal. As it's always a bit hard in Condor to look around. You know, it's way easier in real life. Yeah, if you have like just the normal Condor without any other software, you just see like a small window out of your cockpit. So you just have a straight view, and you need to look around left and right and up and down and reset your view. That sometimes can be very hard, but there are some hardware or things you can do, like a head tracking, or like, for example, VR glasses. Then you are able to look around way better and have a way better feeling of distance to other planes, and then you can circle much more accurate with other planes, and much more safer. So it sometimes happens here in Condor, and yeah, you just don't see them coming from below or anywhere.
Right. So again, if you're looking at, now we swapped over again to PH, which is Papa Hotel, Peter Thiel, and he chooses to fly. His altitude right now is less than 800 meters. So compared to the other guys, he's much lower, but he's looking to find a good thermal in this area that's coming up his way. And let's see if his strategy plays out, if that's the right choice. We don't know, but he flies 185K, so he's pretty fast. He probably has his what you call it, his McGrady set up to a 1.8, maybe 2, if he flies that fast. And what shall I say about that? Not much to say about that, but he's flying in fast now. Look at that, 200. Super fast.
Yeah, and we have a lonesome guy right here. It's the French guy, Hervé, taking another thermal than the others and a slightly other route, aiming for different clouds. And he's doing his own little way right here. He has 2 more clouds in front of the next, or maybe 3 clouds in front of the next turn point, which he can check. But if I see correctly, this climb wasn't as good as the others have been. But maybe there's another one. He's feeling it right now, pulling out the energy, and he turns in. Let's see what his climb rate is about. As well, the Vario isn't the actual climb rate, but if we interpolate it a little bit, we are able to see the average climb rate, I think, and this seems to be a good one if he centers this a little bit. And that's interesting because he's all alone in this thermal. He can use it to the top, and nobody else was able to use it. And if the others do not find a lift that's as good as this one, then the French guy, Hotel Fox 8, will be in front.
Right. If we're looking at the 2D variation of the 2D view, we can see where he's at. He's actually
he's way more to the east, right?
Yeah, it's way more to the east. So he's totally taken a different route, and he's actually behind. Again, there's a few of them who did not take the first thermal. They opted not to because, again, we're flying completely headwind right now, and then you don't want a thermal too often. So the other pilots are way ahead, hoping to find a good thermal. TBC, PH, 8K, Timke, 215, Dennis with 66R. They're all up front, and we have to see. Yeah, here you can see it, and let's see how they play out. If they find a good thermal and come back up before the second, which is the peloton, as the French would say, the peloton, the second peloton is coming behind, because they already took their first thermal, got really high up, and now they can just soar it down. So there's 2 strategies, and we're looking at them right now. And,
yeah. And as the cloud base is that low, always these headwind parts are really thrilling because you get low every time, you get low every cloud. You feel like you are high, but next cloud you are low again.
Right.
And especially in this headwind part, that can take a lot of time. So, and a lot of patience. And the best pilot in this part of the race is the one with the most patience, but with enough
Aggressiveness.
Thank you, Norman. You transferred from a German to a English native speaker.
I did. A little story about that. I mean, 29 years ago, I basically left Germany and went to America, and that's when I started to learn this language. And people in America mostly say, "Where's my accent?" Because when I tell them I'm German, they're like, "You're German?" They can't really tell. So I'm fortunate to be able to hear the language and able to bring it back to you guys. And so, Ben, if you don't mind, once in a while I give you a little helper, like, aggressiveness, and
Yeah,
you
I would
learn and you all
appreciate it.
understand it perfectly.
So
Oh,
I might improve my English here throughout this week or throughout the roll races.
yeah, but your English is darn good, I have to say. Not shabby, as they say, not shabby.
Yeah, I appreciate that as well, Norman. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
No, it's fine. But we have a Danish guy in front right now, Tim Madsen. If you like, you can watch him or his stream, of course. Stay with us here. But
Tim Mutsky is TKM or Timkey or uh, TKM. I have to still study the letters. T is for Theodore? No.
you go for
Tango. Gosh. Tango, Kilo, and Mike. He is
Tango.
in the lead, but he's also very low. He's very low, and he's taking the risk.
And he's
But
aiming for the next cloud there. He has two options in front of the turn point, and that is, I think, at this part of the race, it's a bit too low right now. As he's entering the first, so he needs to find the thermal first. He can't join anybody, and that takes the most of the time. That will be an advantage for the others to just join him. He got the first turn climb right now under this dying cloud above him, and he's aiming for the next better formed cloud. And Ronnie Lindell, who did a good start, and his own little route is a little bit lower than Tim at this part of the race, and that's even worse. But he has Tim in front who can show him this thermal. And what I wanted to say, like, Tim is a very well-known Condor pilot. I think he is flying very often, and you can watch his live stream on YouTube as well if you type in Tim Kielstrop Madsen.
yeah, but if he continues like this, he only has 700 meters. And if he only has 700 meters now, he's finally turning into a thermal. And let's see how good or bad it is. He's looking desperately to find something, and he hasn't. So, yeah, good luck, Tim. 650 meters and going down. Ouch.
For the next one. Meanwhile, Ronnie Lindell a little bit behind him. Found this nice climb right there. He's joined in with his J3 80 meters with 48 kilograms per square meter.
Oh, 8K. Right. 8 kilo. He is the guy.
Yeah, I will help you with the NATO alphabet then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at different screens, and I apologize to all you watchers and listeners out there. I'm looking at different screens at the same time as I'm commentating, and so if I look at the location of the planes and their height, attitude at the 2D screen, I see only the call name. I don't see the real name. So that's why I'm saying who. So, but anyway, so Timkey or what's this? Yeah, so many screens all together. Oh my goodness, how do you do that?
What are you doing, Norman?
What am I doing here?
What are you doing here tonight? You are not flying. Why are you not flying, Norman? Why are you
Why am I not flying? Because I'm sitting with you here, and I was wondering why I'm not participating. I know. Why aren't you flying, Ben? Let's talk about that. Why aren't you flying?
Yeah, we already said I'm the Weltmeister himself.
And the Weltmeister himself, the world champion of virtual soaring GP, is automatically invited to the finals. So Ben does not have to fly, and he chooses to sit with me right here. Thank you, Ben. And he just can watch everybody's tactics and strategies, and then when it's time for him to compete, he's just going to show up in his comfortable chair and do his thing. Nice.
I try my best then, but of course I'm not that trained like these guys right here, like Thomas Meyer, who's had good races this start of the week and did a good job on the first day with his win. And he's following the pack right now. We have a few guys in front of him. I think the first one at the moment is JJJ, who's aiming for the turn point right now and looking for the next cloud already. And that's a good advice, or not a good advice, but I think advice that that can get that can get useful someday. I feel like some Condor pilots are just aiming for the next turn point. So they are not looking to the right already what's happening after turn point number 1. And it's so important to have an idea what you are doing after the turn point, because as you turn, you need to have your next aim, and that's most of the time the next cloud and not the next turn point. So that's
Right.
something very interesting. And if there's a blue area like right now, have this little cloud which is a bit off the line, so they fly with the wind away from the line, from the direct line. Yeah. So what I wanted to say, that just have your next target in sight, and I would go for the big cloud which is a little bit to the left of the line, and but for that you need to have good altitude, which most of the people won't have at the moment. Let's see.
And we see J. Jerome just passed the turn point 1. And so he is in the lead. He just turned, or actually turning right now. Boom, there he is. And so he is in the lead, doing his thing. And he still has a good height. And let's see how this is all going to play out, man. This is because if I look behind it, if you look behind him, you can see Timke has not turned, and he's very low. He has a 550 meters, and he's super low on the, on this right there. He hasn't turned yet, and he's very low, trying to find a new cloud somewhere. And surprised he's not going through the turn point at all. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, and now he needs height, and I think he just found it. He just found a thermal, but I'm surprised that he didn't fly through the gate.
Yeah, did a good rescue there. We have a airfield down there, so you can land out. It's no problem at all. But the wind will push him into the sector, so that's okay. You can do it like that. I would normally go through the sector just slightly to be sure you already reached it if there's no lift at all. But I think he did a good job on that, being sure there's a cloud, or maybe a forming cloud. And yeah, he needs this altitude right now, definitely. And meanwhile, Frank is following the leading pack of Jöran and Arne Martin and Arthur Dietrich. And yeah, they're aiming for the next cloud on the way towards turn point number 2, which is a crosswind section. So the wind is coming from the left at the moment. And yes, they have this first, or their next target, which I was talking about, and that was the exact cloud which I would aim for.
Right, and so we're focusing on Frank Schwertfeger, Oscar 9, who's actually quite strong, as we said. He was, I think, in 9th place right now in the overall, and they're trying to find a spot under that cloud, or they're following the other planes to see the other gliders to see if they find a nice thermal to turn left or right. And also another rule in gliding: if you enter a gaggle or a thermal, you have to follow patterns, flight patterns, and that means if somebody's turning to the right, you'll turn to the right. If somebody's flying to the left, you fly to the left, because the chances of colliding is less if you're flying in the same direction. Very important.
Definitely. And some of the Condor pilots are not used to it. That's sometimes a bit tricky, because then you just see a 80-meter plane just in front of you.
Right, and as we see right here, we see the yellow and the purple stripes and all this stuff. You as a pilot, you're sitting inside the cockpit, you don't see that. And so it's easy to see that Armin Güttler AM is making a left turn, so everybody is following the left turn. But if you're flying in your cockpit, you see a plane that's doing something, you really have to look closely to see, are they flying to the left? Are they thermaling to the right? And so you have to squint your eyes and maybe zoom in, and then all of a sudden, oh, they're flying to the left. Shoot, I have to turn around.
And that is bad for racing, of course. Then it just takes a lot of time to turn around, and you fly through the falling air, and that's not what you want. You want to enter and be the highest one, like Whiskey Romeo Whiskey does right now. You can just join this terminal already centered by the others, and that's the way to go. But interesting, very interesting. He's continuing with 800 meters and aiming for the next cloud, where Jørgensen is already trying to find this terminal.
So yeah, well, he thinks maybe that's the way to go, and he's following Jørgensen or JJJ Juliet because he is one of his biggest competition. And if I look at JJJ right now, he has a really good lift compared to the other ones that we saw. He has a +5, 4 to 5 meters per second. So there's a good reason why he's joining, for sure. And it was a good choice, I believe, to go that way.
He saw them climbing already, and maybe they are flying together in the Polish team, like Kilo Juliet is Polish guy as well, and Alpha 33 as well. So they might communicate and just said it's a good thermal, go here. And let's see at what altitude Witold will join this thermal.
He's coming in right now on the bottom. Is that him?
No, it's Frank. Frank joining this thermal.
Oscar 9, Frank, okay.
And we have another chat message from Bruce McFadden. Guy.
Hey, Bruce.
Yes, a guy you know as well, I think, Norman. So.
Right. And he says Tim often initiates a thermal upwind of the turn point and ends up at the turnpike by Claude base. Right. So he did basically what you mentioned, Ben. You fly past the turn point, find the thermal as he did, going up, and the wind's pushing him basically into the turn point. And he calculated it correctly, because that's exactly what happens. I actually have him on my other screen, and that's exactly how we did it. But he's still not that high. But that's the reason why Tim did what he did, flying past it and getting pushed by the wind into the turn point. Thank you, Bruce.
Yes, that's helpful. So we have the thermal, which appears to die because Kilo Juliet and Juliet leaving the thermal, not at the cloud base. Oh, there's coming someone interesting. Kilo Mike India having a very good altitude at this part of the race, and he's a bit higher than the others. Miali Knauch. And let's see if he's joining this terminal or just flying through, because he has the advantage to see, okay, the others are climbing quite nice, and we have another pack leaving this thermal. That's a hard decision to take. Rather you join the thermal or you continue, because following someone else is always a bit more easy, or not easy, but you can see what the others are doing and try to do it just slightly better, and then you will be in front at the end. But,
that's the hope. That's the guess. That's the try to be a little bit more closer to the end, right? I'm like, well, how are we gonna do that, right? So yeah, Whiskey Romeo Whiskey. We have JJJ. We have them all right there doing the thing, and KMI. They're all just flying right now with 205 kilometers per hour towards that next cloud. And you see how close they really are. So this is a really tight race. Again, nothing has been decided yet. We're not even halfway through. And we see to the left how those guys are coming in and trying and pass them actually because they're slightly higher, not by much, but slightly higher. And but the next cloud and how to center it fast will be key to maybe gain a little bit because the next turn point will be tailwind. So you want to be nice and high and just take it, or what would you do? Or nice and low and then take it so you can thermal up on the third wind, on the second turn point, after the second turn point, I mean?
Yeah, I think at this part it's you can again do this tactic like getting low to the turn point if you're sure you'll get a climb behind.
Mhm.
Because if you are having tailwind, it's better than having crosswind, of course. Because you get pushed away towards get pushed towards the next turn point, which is turn point number 3, which is the turn point we talked about, which is on this lake. And it's after on that leg, it's important to get this altitude, to stay at this top, at the top of the cloud, or not at the top, but at the cloud base, and be as high as possible at turn point number 3. That's the most important part on this flatland races and Condor. And if you find a straight line, then you are good to go. And of course, only take the best clouds. But at the moment, it looks a little bit difficult. I just want to say it looks difficult as JJ.
Jerome is trying to find that cloud. He's looking for something, and he hasn't. He's in the lead,
Yeah.
but he's only 650 meter up, which is not high at all. And that cloud that he's flying towards, is it falling apart? I don't know. Is it? Let's see.
Yeah, we can't see it at the moment. The cloud looks quite nice, even though it's disappearing a little bit. This one on the right side is now disappearing, which we can see here. It's Zulu Bravo Yankee, who's aiming for the next one already. So yeah, they take a little bit of a detour now, but they need to take it. So
right. And if you go back to where we were earlier with Whiskey Romeo Whiskey, they found a really nice thermal. They go into cloud base. They're already they're going up there because they choose to do so rather than taking the risk of flying so low. And there you see it. You have a nice gaggle going on, and 2.3 going up, really nice average. And they are definitely safer than what Jerome is doing up front. And obviously, he's not the only one. We have also HFB there.
Yeah, it's interesting with Hotel Fox 8, our French guy, who did a slight mistake at the beginning, or taking his own cloud on the beginning of the race, and he's now on top of this climb. So he did something very good at the first turn point, trying to find a good lift somewhere and staying high. In real life, I'm a high flyer. I like to stay high. I'm not this risky guy, but sometimes you need to take that risk to stay or get into in front. And
right. Well, that's the thing about any of the races, any competition you do. At some point or another, you have to take the risk and take the chance to beat everyone by being just higher and faster. And sometimes it pays out, and then sometimes it doesn't. It just like, oops, it didn't work out.
Yeah, that's right. So
right now he's super strong. He's on top. He's leading that gaggle. But look to the left. There's KMI coming through, and he's also pretty high. I like that.
And yeah, he's going for the safe route as well. They both found two thermals right here. If you look a little bit back to turn point number 1, there was another gaggle right there. Another cloud, a new one, a new small one.
Yeah, super strong. So we have two really nice, and I think the second gaggle that we're looking behind, where SCR is right on top, I think it was a new cloud, and they just really took it all, and all going up really sweet and strong. Might be even stronger than the second gaggle that we've been in it.
Yeah.
So let's see where we go. And look at that. JJJ and them are still looking for something good, or have they found something? They found a gaggle, and it seems to be decent. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. That looks like a nice, strong gaggle. Are they flying against each other right now? No,
Yeah,
okay.
they should be, but at this part they need to, yeah, they need to work with each other. They are almost at the same altitude. Everybody wants to get the best out of that lift, and then sometimes you push too hard, you get too close to another one, and you need to break off to the right or anything like this. So they need to work together. They need to thermal together now, and if they do so, it's the same like in bike racing, which we were talking with the peloton.
The Tour
So
de
yeah,
France, now it's the Tour de Boras. Here
so
we go. Here we go. Tour de Boras.
it's
Qualifier for the World Championship in Sweden. Tour de Boras.
yes. So that's a breakout in front, and they need to work together right now to get to
And
turn
if
point.
you look at their average right now, they seem to be between 2 and 4. So it seems to be a really, really good average. And so they may have done something really nice. We'll see in about a couple of minutes. We'll see when the second and third peloton are coming from behind to see if they pass them higher, lower. We'll find out. Ooh, who do we have here? Oh no, he is scraping, but he found something. He's going up. He's not going to outland, but boy, is he low to the ground. Oh my goodness, 300 meters. That's usually when you look out for the landing spot.
Yeah, there was some fields right on the right side of him, so that's okay. But there's a little bit of a wood area around him, so he took a little bit too much risk down there, and so at the moment it's better to stay high as the cloud distances are quite far, I think. So they need a lot of glide between the clouds, and if you're on 1,500 meters, you can just go for the next one and go like 3 or 4 climbs and just go through them. And but sometime you need to circle, and yeah, don't get too low. It will.
Well, they call me solo. When I flew solo for the first time, we call it solo in Germany, in America, when
Yeah,
you fly solo, right? How do you say in German solo? You fly solo
that's,
as well,
yeah, solo.
right?
The
But
first
if
solo.
you add a V behind the solo, it's solo.
Oh yeah.
And I am known for the solo because after my third solo flight, I flew in the single seater, the Schweizer 126, and I was up there for about an hour and a half. I had a great time, but I drifted further away into the downwind. So all of a sudden, I was quite far away from the airport, and I realized, oh bugger, I have to come back. And so I flew straight back to the airport, and I called it, guys, downwind now, and or base, and so low, very low. And boy, I scraped the rooftops to get to the landing, and I made it. But ever since then, I came solo Norman. There we go, solo Norman.
Solo Norman. Yeah.
Right,
That's
solo.
sometimes very difficult, yeah, especially with winds and all this kind of stuff. I think if you
Well, especially since you're due. I mean, you're learning. I mean, I'm a student. I'm still a student to this day. I'm working on my pilot license. And I think every one of us, everyone out there has experienced what it means to fly so low back to the home airport. And if not low, then you land. And if you have never
yes.
done this, there's a bit of a little moment when you're having to land out for the first time. And I think, Ben, you have experienced this in multiple occasions, yes?
Well, actually, in my real life gliding, I haven't landed out yet in real life. So we have like the land out practice, I would say, while we are doing our license. I did that with a motor glider, but I never experienced a land out for myself.
Oh, really? So that means you're a really good pilot, or just
I'm
lucky you?
so high, Ben. You are so low, Norman. I'm so high, Ben. No.
Well, there must be something here. But then 2 weeks later, I did with the next plane with the 120, with the 136, with the Schweizer 136. I flew a 5 hour,
Oh,
so
nice.
just around the airport, 5 hours, which you need for your silver and gold badge or Abzeichen. And So then they say, oh, rather than so low, it's now so long. Hmm. The so long guy. So
So long,
he's
Norman.
asking
So
what's
low,
next, you know.
Norman.
But anyway, let's go back to the race rather than talking about our experiences. We have Anna. Is it I am Anna Güttler? Yeah, Anna Martin Güttler right now
Yeah.
going to the left thermal because there was one to the right. There was a thermal to the right, but he didn't choose to go there. You see it over there, and maybe it's too close to cloud base. And here he's just going to do a little, as we call it, the stick thermal. He's just going to pull up with high speeds, pulling up 16, 20, 20, 16. So he's going to get a nice little lift there, probably 40, 50 meters for that short period of time. And then he's just going to continue flying to turn point 2. And he still has this 1,400-meter height, which is super strong, super high. I can see this race compared to yesterday is completely different. We have, it looks like 5 or 10 different kinds of strategies here where everybody's flying their own race. It's very, very different than what we experienced yesterday, where everybody hung together. Here we have all kinds of strategies, and we have no idea how it's going to end up, which is nice. Good for us. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of ways to talk about. We can see
Right.
different.
Here we have a nice overview of the 2D, and um, we see our friend Papa Hotel in the lead, but Papa Hotel is getting super low. If I look at the 200 and what meters, 201 meters, that's like he's landing out, I believe. He's ready to go, maybe already found a spot and landing out, or he's finding something very close. But the other ones are Kilo, Mike India, and JJJ are in the second and third spot right now, and they're much higher, 1,100 meters. And Kilo Mike, where is he? How high is Kilo Mike? Kilo Mike. There we go, 1,250. So they're both safe. And PH is just don't know if he's going to even make it. No idea.
Yeah, he was low back the days. And what's interesting, we have again two gargles. One of them trying to stay on the windward side regarding the second leg, and some of the others are more moving to the south, to the wind draw side, and maybe looking for another cloud right there. So it's interesting that they split up once again. At this point of the race, I think if you are right here, like Hotel Fox 8 is, it's important to get altitude now because it pushes you slightly towards the turn point already, and you have advantage over the others which are on the other side of the yellow line towards turn point number 3.
So if you see that little yellow line, actually, no, that's not right. It seems like they're all. Oh no, okay. So he's on the left side. So he's on the windward side of the task of the yellow line. So he's on the left side of the task, which is good because if he finds a thermal, he's going to get pushed further onto the line. Where most of the other pilots and planes are actually on the leeward side, meaning on the right side of the yellow line, and they get further pushed away from the turn point. So it is a good position to be in on this end, and very well flown so far. Has a good height, and he's joining probably KMI. Is he not? Let's see what he does. It looks like he's. Yeah. Oh! Look at that. There goes the wing. See, that's the risk if you fly behind someone and he pulls up as stream as he did, and somebody comes behind and flew right into it. That's penalty points.
Yeah, they both haven't seen each other. I think Stefan hasn't seen him pulling up below, and Hotel Fox 8 hasn't seen him above. But you should be aware of what's going on around you, whether there's pilots above you or behind you. So you need to watch out a bit, even in Condor. I think it's important for everyone.
And that's in real life, if you do that,
Definitely, yeah.
That's it. You're done. Hopefully you have a parachute on, but with 1,000 meters jumping out of an airplane, it's going to be tough. Hopefully it's going to unfold before you land or crash.
In Florida, just a real life question once again. In Florida, do you wear
No, we
parachutes?
don't have to. We don't have to wear. We
Ah,
don't have to wear parachutes,
yeah,
which I
okay.
find really odd. I
Yeah.
prefer wouldn't to have. I would like the idea of having to wear a parachute, but as a student, they say no, don't have to wear one. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh dear.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You are just a student,
It is what it is. Here we look at Kuba Jastrushkevich, and he is kind of like in a good position. He still have a good height. He's flying towards that cloud right in front of him, so he looks like he might be taking this thing seriously. And if you look up, there's a nice cloud right there. He might take it, he might not. We'll find out in a second what he's going to do. Good speed,
Yeah.
good height, little far to the right. So he's again on the leeward side of the line, of the straight line to turn point 2. And he's not pulling up. He has a lot of sink right now. That means, and there he comes. There it goes. 4.2, 3.5.9. He is just taking the lift. He's not turning, it seems, even though it looked like a really good cloud.
Yeah, it's a
So
very
he's
big
flying
one.
low to turn point 2, and then hopefully finding a good cloud. But
Yes.
looking down the line, there's nothing there.
It's a long glide for him, but the area down there looks pretty good. It's brown
Oh,
fields
if
and
you look to the right, he has actually, there was, do you see that right
nice
now,
view.
straight ahead, you see the little cloud building right now? And that would help a lot for him to, that cloud to the left now is going up really sweet right there. Yep, that's on the, well, gone. Uh,
It's
Thanks to
small.
Timothy, who's doing all the work behind the scene to make this look really nice. And he's following my commands. And but if you see the little cloud right there below the blue, that's a new cloud building. And so that is a perfect cloud to take once you turn on turn point 2. Really nice.
Yeah,
Um,
it's coming somewhere off this wood corner right there. So the area changes a little bit right now. They're flying above some wood kind of area, and they are flying into more drier area. So I predict there will be some better thermals, but yeah, we are sadly both not used to this area of flying. So I've never flown in Sweden, of course, but let's see what the thermals are doing over there before they are going to turn point number 3, which is on this lake we were talking about. And Norman, I got another little message for you on the Twitch screen chat. There's ScenePC191 is saying, "Hey Norman, nice to see you in again," with a nice smiley smiling.
aw, well, thank you.
S19, it's Scene here watching, both doing a great job here. Thank you, Scene. Appreciate your words.
Nice. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching on Twitch and or YouTube or live on FAI.org. So we're streaming on all kinds of channels. And again, this is the first one for the second for the second series of World Championship and the qualifiers in Boras, and it's our first live stream. So we're doing the best that we can to make this come to you, and you can watch the excitement on this virtual gliding competition. TSKJ, and he is fairly low. Kuba is going low.
He's going low and aiming for this browner area down there. And let's see, this might be the new thermal which we were talking about earlier, which he's getting right now. He's 800 meters and now joining this thermal as the first one, and it appears to be pretty good so far. He's got a good climb, and now he's on the tailwind section. As I already said, it's important to get as high as possible on this part of the race and use almost every cloud to stay high. That's
Yeah, and if
something.
you look at if you just saw the swing that Tim did, you could see he's actually higher up and he's up front. So he's doing a really sweet job. He is in the lead. Basically, by watching this, he is in the lead. And look at that. He's higher than everyone else and further than anyone else. That is very impressive. So Kuba doing a fine job, and KMI is following him, trying to get to that same cloud because it's looks like a really strong cloud. KJ, let me take a look at it. KJ is going up really sweet, very strong. Oh, good. KJ, where are you, my friend? There you are. Yep, he's going up, up, and up. And JJJ is following him right now, super strong.
Super strong, super nice. And we have the Polish team right below as well in a second, Alpha 3-3. And I believe Vitol is coming as well. Can we have a look? Which is the field behind? Maybe it's interesting who's coming now at what altitude into this climb.
Yeah, but it looks like Kuba has done a fantastic job. I mean, he's ahead of everyone and higher. And we have some in the distance, but they're still far away from turn point 2 to get there. But if you look at the strong pilots, Oscar 9, Arne Martin Güttler, you see them coming in, Frank, Witold, they're all coming in, but they're all lower. So he's done something really good, and it's showing up now. We're halfway through the race now, and that's a strong, strong lead for sure.
Yeah, very nice. It's at his part right now is to put pressure on the others. He's now a lead, and especially in regatta races, that's always the hardest point of flying these kind of races, because everybody's following you and everybody sees your mistakes you are doing. But if you keep a cool head right now, what I said, keep high, use every thermal you can get, you can stay in front and keep the others behind. And he's like, maybe 200 or 150 meters above the next one, which is ZB, Zulu Bravo Yankee. And that's pretty good. And we see a attack of 2 of them, Mihaly Knautsch and Jören, are leaving this thermal at a lower altitude. That's very interesting. They predict there might be something better to come at the next cloud. And that's what they need to do. Otherwise, they stay in this climb and they will see Kilo Juliet leaving. So they need to do something else to get in front. And that's the risk they take. I like to see that.
Well, I guess if you're below, the other chance is to find a stronger thermal. And so as KJ, as Vikuba, as we see him right now, he is going to the top of this cloud. And it was a fresh, young cloud. I mean, you couldn't find a better cloud, to be honest with you. And you can still see he's doing an average between 2.5 to 3.5 meters. So he's averaging, let's say, 2.8. And that's probably one of the stronger thermals in this race. And he's staying cool-headed and he says, I'm taking it to the top. And you can see him passing very much, pretty sure, really strong position, and he's staying cool. He's not being intimidated by Kilo Mike India to follow him. He's like, no, I'm doing my own race, and he's doing a fine job, very fine job. And it's a humongous gaggle. If you look at it, you have like 15, 20 of them in there. That's a humongous gaggle.
Yeah, they're joining it right now as and that's the first cloud after turn point number 2. That's what they were looking for after turn point number 2, to get low to turn point and then go for the cloud, climb as high as possible, and now stay to the top. So
now we can see if KJ did the right thing or not. If Kuba did the right thing, because KMI and JJJ are under that cloud going up, and he's probably going to pass them. That's my prediction. Unless KMI had such a strong thermal. Can you click on him to see what his average rates are?
To me, from this point, it looks lower. They are not climbing that fast. You can see their track not being that far from each other than the others. That's what we see.
That's good to see. But I don't see KMI. Where is he? Why is he not on the screen?
Undercover.
Undercover, probably under Jack.
Oh, it's fine. But we saw them turning turn point number 2.
And there he is. He just passed him. We missed that, actually. We have no comparison to it anymore. Oh, there he goes. He's above them and fast. He took a nice little lift there. He is just smoking them right now. Boy, if he doesn't make any mistakes at this point, he is super duper good. Super
that
strong.
could already be the race decision. You know, if he finds a good thermal in front of turn point number 3, he might needs one or two, another one
For the final glide.
for the
Yeah.
final glide. Then yes, and then he's good to go. So that's at his part. But if you look in front, it's very blue towards turn point number 3. Maybe it's influenced by this lake right there, which we are flying above at turn point number 3. But it's very blue towards this turn point, and that's something he doesn't want at the moment. He wants a nice cloud street towards the turn point, so that would be easy for him. Right now, he's just facing blue.
As we already know, sometimes when you're flying into the blue, you might find, lucky you, find this blue thermal that the cloud hasn't developed yet, and all of a sudden you're the first under that cloud, and you're going up strong, strong, strong. But he's not taking the risk. Smart of him. He's saying, I'm taking the last one right here because I don't see any clouds. So he's doing the right thing. He's turning, getting a decent lift out of it, getting a couple extra meters out of it, probably ending up around 1620, 1630 before he hits cloud base, and then he heads towards turn point 3 in the lead on top, and hoping for a nice little blue thermal or a new cloud to develop on its way there. That sounds about a nice little. That sounds like a good
It's
strategy.
absolute right tactic at this part. You know, I talked about that earlier. Use every altitude you can get. It gives
Wow!
you
And this there you can see the difference. KJ is so far ahead, 1600 meters, right? We're looking at Frank Schwertfeger, who's at 1400 meters and behind, and KJ is in front with 1650. I mean, there you see how much advantage he has. He has already distance and height. I mean, that is impressive. Impressive. I mean,
very nice, very nice.
wow.
At this part, I would say it's an easy number for him if he's not messing it up, of course. Yes.
And even all the other pilots. I mean, we don't want to dismiss anyone else, but ZBY and Kilo Mike India, JJJ, they're all in a really good position. And everything behind it, they're behind, and there's some strong pilots in there. They have won Whiskey Romeo Whiskey, and they have won some of these races, and they are not even close to anything of this. So nice. We'll definitely see a new winner today. That's for sure. That is a nice race.
Totally interesting. Kilo Julia is good pilot as well. He's very, very talented in Condor. I don't know if he's flying in real life, but yeah, he's pretty good on most of the races, and he's as well flying within the Polish team, I think. And yeah, he has the advantage right now to go and make his own moves towards the finish line. Fingers crossed for him.
Right, but the bunch of everybody is following KJ, and he needs to stay cool, and also the rest of all of them. We have Artur right here, who came in third yesterday race, super strong glider and pilot, and he is also in a very good position. Again, 1600 meters up, only a couple of spots, 3 spots, 4 spots behind KJ, Kilo Juliet, and I think this is not over. You know, the fat lady hasn't sung yet. That's the song. Yep, the fat lady hasn't sung yet. So,
at
and
least
as
we
you can see, Kilo Juliet does not fly directly to the turn point. He's actually flying to the right, going to the clouds to get some sort of lift. So staying under some sort of clouds rather than taking the chance of just doing the blue thermal. So he's doing the safe thing. And yep, he's just taking that cloud and flying to the next one. Yep. Still
Perfect.
1400 meters. Nice.
Very good. So we have like 140 kilometers to go towards the finish line, and they can glide out of 1,000 meters. They can glide right around 40 kilometers, probably. I'm not sure, but around 40 or 30 kilometers with this kind of speed. And so they need, like, let me guess, I think five more climbs, 5 or 6 more climbs, depends on which climbs and how long, of course. But they need some more altitude for the final glide, of course. That's what I want
We
to say.
don't, as of right now, we don't have any instruments to get the final glide, meaning the McGrady's and all that stuff. We don't have XC-SOAR or LX8000s, which are really helpful tools that the glider pilots use to see where they're at, to see what their average are, to see how much height they need to be able to get the final glide. We're guesstimating right now, but they have the tools on board and have a better idea as to what they have to do to be able to do their final glides.
Yeah, you got a navigation display in Condor, a self-written one, so you can see everything right there, like your final glide computer and a map.
And the map.
And
The
the
little
map.
PDA, as they call it. It's a really tiny screen, and you have to constantly click on it until, like, where am I? Zoom in, zoom out, and trying to find, like, where am I? Where do I have to go? Oh, and then what's my McGrady? Oh, gotta change this. Go from 1 meter to 1 meter 50 to 1 to 2 meters to 3 meters. So it's not just sitting there with a joystick and floating around. There's so many options and things of changing the flaps and changing the settings, the trim. That's what I'm talking about. The trim to see how fast you. Then you have the option of doing autopilot, which is kind of nice. You hit the P button and off you go. You just fly straight, and the pilot, like, ah la la. Technically, you could go to the bathroom if you really had to, but most pilots don't do that right now. So now we can see right now we're coming to this massive lake, and they have to fly halfway through the lake to that little island in the middle. And that is a really difficult thing because usually over water, the thermals aren't as strong.
Yeah, or there shouldn't be any thermals at all, because like water is cooler than the ground, and there's not that much rising air. But yeah, let's see in Condor, and I think at this map there are some clouds above the lake. Maybe there are some thermal.
Well, we have one cloud, right? If you look at the stop, Tim. If you go back, if you see on the edge of the land, there are some shadows. So if you read the shadows, those are clouds, right? And so we see there is a cloud for sure in front of the water. There's about 3, 4, 5, 6 clouds over the water. Not sure if they carry anything, but supposedly they're not. So that's really on the programmer who designed the Boras map, if he gave thermals over the water or not, right? Am I correct there?
Yeah, there's a thermal map connected to the roll map where you can define like the probability of thermals to rise. Like you have like a black to white map, and they say like, okay, black is 100% of thermals come from here, and white is 0% of thermals come from here. So if you have like water, you just paint it white on this thermal map, and there shouldn't appear any thermal in Condor. And if you do this quite accurately and you know the area you are talking about, there can be this is a great advantage for the Condor map then, because you get the thermals you get in real life. For example, for our area here in Cologne, we have some factories and kind of stuff, and there should be a higher possibility or probability of thermals right there. And
right. So now we're looking here at these three guys, and it seems like they have found a really strong thermal, and they're going to take that to cloud base, and they're doing really, really good. KJ seems to be just wandering off and continuing without any worries. Or is he thermaling too? I'm not 100% sure. He may have found something of it. No, he did not. So this is going to be a risky moment for Cuba, hoping that there will be thermals under these clouds, or just wah wah wah. Well, that's a risky one.
Dangerous right now, as we are talking about the ridge, or this other the thermals above this lake, they normally are a bit worse in Condor as well. But let's see what he gets. He's in front, still in front, but he's lost his altitude. He took this little detour towards the next cloud and
Right.
didn't have the patience to go by there, or didn't found the right lift. And now he's going to the left again and looking for this final option, which is
Oh, stick lift, or is it real lift? Stick lift? That looks like a really strong thermal. Wow.
but instantly turning into the left. And we cross our fingers for him to get a good lift right here. That would be perfect.
Well, because if he doesn't, then and it looks like the cloud is falling apart too, if I see this correctly. But if you look at KMI and all of them, they have found a really good lift, including Arthur and Jerome. They're all finding something, and they're giving themselves a nice little boost to take this road over the water to the turn point. And if you're saying that the lift on over the water is not so good, the chances are there's a long distance you have to fly over water before you're coming back to the mainland for the final glide. So this is again, this is like another key point of this race that we're watching right now. This may or may not play out for Cuba or for the rest of the family coming in right here.
Yeah, they are all joining now behind and doing the thing I talked about, staying at the top of the. Oh, I always say at the top of the clouds, but they are staying close to the cloud base and keeping as high as possible. And they were able to see what Kilo Juliet did before, and he moved to the right and see him passing through the right.
Super strong thermal. Look at that. Super strong thermal.
But he's going up really fast. Yes, pretty good.
Wow. So he chose, luckily, a good cloud, and that is pretty impressive. So Jean-Mittel, BC1, going out there because he's probably realizing, man, he's going up. He found something, so might as well follow the leader. It's a good choice. And we saw earlier, a link before, we saw Thomas Meyer, and he is the leader of the entire competition right now, and he's far behind. He's lower and behind, so you can see that the competition is tough, and to be able to win and become in first and second is not as easy as one thinks.
No, it definitely isn't. So we push our thumbs for everybody right here, but Kilo Juliet seems to be the guy
and
for
that's Foxtrot 9, which is Helmut coming into the thermal, probably taking another little. He's high, but he's taken more just to take it. He's probably going to go fly right through it. Yeah, is he taking that? I guess he is. He's following his friend Frank Oscar 9.
Yeah.
And Helmut taking a couple more puffs of that cloud, and then he's probably going to go. But now you can see everybody is following KJ because KJ is going up so nicely over there in the middle of the water. That cloud developed really strong. I thought it was falling apart, but my fault. No, it's developing super strong.
And above the lake, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes in Condor there's something magical. But Norman, we are 1 hour in the race.
And the magic continues, and Arne Martin Güttler gives us a good overview from his point of perspective, and he's flying where everyone else is going, and he's 1,400 meters up. He's good. He's probably going to take another sniff at that cloud to go up high before he then is going to go for his glide around turn point 3. But impressive. I love seeing this whole thing. It's very impressive.
Yeah, they should all take this thermal, but go up. Kilo Juliet is already aiming for the next cloud again, and maybe taking the final turns before turn point number 3. Wizingsko, a little island on this big lake right there.
I think it's called Wizingsko. Good. There's an U behind it.
We are in Sweden, right?
Wizingsko. Good. Something like that. I mean, I'm making it up, but Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
Sweden.
sorry for that. It's okay. We are good.
Right. And here's another cloud he's going to take, just a little sniff at it. Or how do you, in Germany, they call it Wabbeln, durch die Gegend wabbeln.
Yes,
Oder
schwabbeln.
Wabbeln oder Schmetterlingssprung machen, so schön.
Delfin.
Mitnehmen.
Ja, Delfinflug heißt es auf Deutsch.
Delfinflug, alles klar. The dolphin flight. Yeah,
Dolphin.
look at that. He's taking the stick thermal, taking it, nicely done. Now speeding back up to probably 220, 210, something like this, flying directly to turn point 3. I mean, Cuba. Off you go. Oh, look at that.
Super Cuba.
Super Cuba. And ZBY, which is Spitzek, is basically following him, but not as high, not as far forward. And Jerome is doing the same thing. Boy, are they trying hard to catch up.
Yeah, as we are talking about this dolphin flying, maybe someone doesn't know why they are doing it. Because, well, you can fly through a thermal with 200 kilometers per hour and just continue through it. Or you can do this kind of pulling up in front of the thermal, sitting on top of this rising air and then pulling out of the thermal. That's, Norman, you are a good flight student. You know why they're doing that.
Yeah, well, the reason why they're doing it is, number one, if you slow down, you spend more time in the uplift, more time in the thermal, right? So you're coming with 200 kph, 180 kph, and you're pulling, you're doing the stick thermal. Basically, you're taking lift right there, and all of a sudden you're in the lift, so the warm air will even give you more, and you're spending more time in the thermal. So all these components give you a lot of height. So you're probably gaining in the thermal like this, rather than just 20, 30, 40 meters, you're probably gaining 50, 60 meters. And those 30 meters end up in distance and time. So there's this little thing. In the final glide, if you already have your final glide, you don't have to pull up anymore. You just fly right through it. What I've learned. But I believe when you're on final glide, meaning you don't have to thermal anymore, that's just extra lift, and you can turn that directly into speed.
Yes. Yeah. Well explained. Thank you very much, Norman. I agree and put my sign below.
Okay. Signature of the world champ. You passed that test. Okay.
Exactly.
Extra points, extra brownie points. Thank you.
No problem. So, Norman, we need to recap a little bit right now. We are 1 hour and 5 minutes in this race in this fourth day of the virtual Sailplane Grand Prix qualifying races at Boras, Sweden. Boras is close to Göteborg, so it's not
that's a little southeast of Göteborg.
Yes, and
the recap is, first off, we can see Cuba is leading, and if I go back into the overall results, I want to see where Cuba is. Hold on, KJ is in 9th place of the overall right now, overall standings. And so with this win today, or if he continues like this, he'll definitely catch up, which is nice to see. And if I look at the other competition days that he was in, let's say yesterday he was racing, and he was also in 10th place. So this is a really nice, a really nice day for him to be in the lead and getting possibly the 1,000 points for the final for a win, and that is nice to see. If I look at BZ right here, John Mitchell, BZ, where are you, my friend? BZ in the score from yesterday.
Well, I haven't seen him that often. Maybe
John Mitchell, he's an American, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, little fellow man, and he flew yesterday and ended up in 28th, and right now he's in the top 10, in the top 5. It's a really nice upgrade. So he's going to collect a lot of points towards his goal to become first or second. So all in all, I can see where there's some changes going on. We have here Arthur and Witold, and who are actually in the top 5 of the entire race. And they're trying to catch KJ. And Witold is never to be messed with, because he's in the lead of overall racing. And he's trying to catch up, not to look too bad. and he's looking really good right now. So wow, but I'm looking at the altitude. He's only 1,000 meters up. That's not high. That's low.
And it's a long glide towards the land area again, even though
Right.
we got the best thermal above the lake, of
So
course.
now the wind is coming from the right, and he's staying on the left side of the track. So he's actually still leeward on the leeward side of the track. Surprise, surprise. Not far, but I think they're flying all to that cloud that Kuba is flying towards. I think that seems. Oh, he's on the right side of the track. Okay, he is on the smart side. I would have been surprised if he's not. And here we go. Look, in Kuba is ahead, and he's 1,100 meters up. So
Perfect. As we said, perfectly flown for him on this final 90 kilometers towards the finish line. There might be 2 or 3 more climbs to go, and then they are done. And he's in the perfect position right now. Just keep his patience and going for the finish line. Then here at this 4th day of racing at Boras.
yeah, because all the planes that we're looking right now, it's if it's merely, well, they're all behind. And to just recap it, this day 4, is definitely a shuffle, a mix up. It gonna show us a totally different scoring than we saw the days before, which is kind of nice because that shows us that other pilots sometimes may have made a mistake in the past, and here they are showing off and see how good they really are. And this is the beauty of virtual flying, of virtual condor flying, that you can make up and you can show how good you are. And all these pilots that we see, the 60 people that are in the competition right now, showing off, and we can learn from them that never give up. There's always a chance to come back, and that's the fun part, isn't it? I mean, when you're sitting at home, it's your joystick in your hand, and that's the fun part of. Come on, I mean, like, you're leading, your heart is pounding. I know, mine would be.
It definitely is. I totally know this feeling of heart pumping and sweat on your Stirn. What's Stirn, Norman?
Forehead. On your forehead, you see the drips on your eyebrows. You need like tissues. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then you do the view mirror and looking at it. You do like an external view to see where everyone else is, and then you go right back to like, where's the next cloud? And you're constantly looking up into the sky, trying to find thing. Did I miss a cloud? Is there one developing new? I mean, I remember the first couple of times flying this, I was exhausted. I was like, what did I do? And then I realized, oh, I just flew for 2 hours. I'm like, this is real. This is it burns some calories. Hopefully you have some nuts to use so you can eat some nuts or something, because your brain is working overtime and your eyes are like totally focused on the screen. Your hands are sweaty. Oh, look at this. What's going on with Jerome? So low.
I can already see his water on his forehead.
Yeah. Tim, zoom in. If you can zoom into him and see if you see his cockpit. Yeah.
Go to the pilot, maybe.
Here we go.
Oh shit. Oh yeah.
Oh. Here we go. I would. Here we go. Hand him a little tissue and say, "Here we go. Take that tissue. Would you wipe it off?"
Thank you. It's a dangerous thing to go. Look at how much forest there is. I would never do this in real life. You can go to the left. There are some outlanding fields, or maybe on the top right now. But this area is very unlandable. It's unlandable. That's what I want to say. And
if you look around, there aren't many streets either. So, but okay, I mean, these high performance gliders, if you have 600 meters, you can still fly quite a bit to find the right outlanding spot, but you really don't want to risk that too much. I mean, nah. And look at that. Everybody's in the thermal.
Yeah, after the lake, they decided to get high again on
because
this
they were all so low, and KJ Kuba was really high, and they're all, they're at 1,000 meters right now, so they're not really high. And JJ decided to continue on rather than taking this thermal that most of them are taking right now. And BZ1 is taking the left turn over there, hoping that next cloud will maybe throw something at him and give him another advantage. But as I can see in the distance, you don't have to go there, but Kuber is turning into a thermal right now. And that's probably the same one that JJ will take his way as well. And it's a very strong thermal again, the way it looks.
Very nice.
Very impressive. He's just doing the right thing. I think he might be even on his final glide after that rise.
Yeah, we have 80 kilometers to go.
80 is maybe not high enough. He needs to find another cloud.
They need one more cloud after that, but it's a good climb once again. That's very lucky for both of them. I think they can put pressure on the field behind right now. Jürgen took the risk and got rewarded for it right now. So I think you're a little but war Tuch hier.
Number 2? What?
Nee, hier dein Tuch hat geholfen. Yes, perfect. That's what I wanted to say. Sorry for that.
You could call sister. I need a little bit of a sweat towel. Thank you.
Sweat
But
towel.
I'm doing double fisted right now. I'm pouring myself a little bit of water. There's nothing in it. It's just water. I'm talking too much, and I have to have a sip of water here.
We will drink. Good.
Here we go, Ben. Prost.
Yeah. Prost. Chin chin.
I used that word chin chin in the English language when I was hanging out with my family. And like, chin chin, what's that? And I'm like, I thought it was an English word for cheers. And they're like, chin chin? Most people don't know it. I think it's a French word.
I think it's French as well, yes. But for me, it's always a condor race, you know.
I love chin chin. Chin chin is great. Chin chin.
Yes. There's a daily race for the guys who don't know. It's a daily race at 17:30 Middle European summertime.
Yes.
Where
the chin chin race, right?
And
look at Jerome now, who was so low, found that lift the same way that KC is in it, and super strong thermal. I mean, 3 to 4 meters. Wow. And JJ is right now in second place the way this looks, because he's higher than everyone else except for Kuba. And now the rest of the crew is coming behind it. And they're all taking this exclusive super thermal. You can see the cloud is high and very tight, but high, meaning this is super strong. Look at that cloud. Couldn't be better. This is a perfect cloud for strong thermals. And they're taking it. And KJ, JJJ, they're all in there. Whiskey, Romeo, Whiskey. They're all loving this thermal right now. But they're all below.
Yeah, the game works perfectly well for Kuba today. So he can always put pressure on the others with this strong thermals. And everybody's just following. There's no other chance for the others to find something better than his way. So they're just following, and the race should already be decided now, because
he's up. He's cloud base 1622, upgrading to speed. Now he's turning into speed, and then he's probably going to settle in around 180 right now, 188, 185, or even faster. He's like, no, I think I'm good here. He has probably increased his McGrady, flying 2.3, 2.6. And because the thermals maybe it's also the afternoon, the thermals becoming stronger. So maybe the weather's improving a little bit, and the McGrady is going up for him. So he's flying 208. And here's the rest of the family in this massive thermal. And lucky Jerome, he's on top of that right now in second place. And he was really, really low. And he's taking it. And if you see the average of Harvey, that's a really good thermal again.
Yeah, and everybody's using it. And we got a message from Sander Terpstra, Dutch guy, I think, if I remember correctly. And he says, never underestimate Jeroen on his final glide. So we need to be careful, Norman. I know he's pretty good on that, especially in the Alps and on ridge races. It's always dangerous to leave or to have him behind. And we have some more kilometers to go, a few thermals to go, and Joren is on it. He smells
Yeah, but
on Kuba's forehead.
to catch up that much, I mean, Cuba, it's been out of that thermal for at least a minute and a half, and that's a lot of distance and height, or even 2 minutes almost, to catch up. That's tough, guys. I
Yeah,
think Cuba got this one in the bag. But the question is, who's going to be second, third, and fourth? Because we have Jerome, we have Arthur, and Vitold, who are all right there. And Vitold is known to win. He's known to somehow squeeze out a couple extra miles or kilometers per hour in the end. And they're speeding up right now, and everyone is following. Frank is back with Oscar 9. He's doing a couple of more turns, but here's the Meute, as they call it in Germany, the Meute, the guys who are trying to catch the first and second, and we'll see. But the race is between for the third place. That's where the race is right now, because they're so close to each other, same height, and that's where you will see who. And that's where I can see Vitold doing his thing. Now you have to fly less distance is best, and probably as least of any kind of adjustments. See, ZBY is going to the left. He's going to that cloud over there, hoping that cloud will help him. Whereas Vitold and Arthur are sticking to that other cloud. So they're splitting up, and ZBY is taking a chance to say, maybe I got something there. Good luck. Good luck there. But I guess that's what you have to do to win or lose. ZBY.
Yeah, totally interesting moment. It's very, very suspense. You saw the Zulu Bravo Yankee struggling a bit with his decision. He was go right, go left, go right for this next cloud, and he decided to go left because he need to do something else than the others. And that's so interesting. The others fly towards this disappearing cloud and now facing for the next one. But of course, they are on the windward side of the track right now. Zulu Bravo Yankee decided, okay, I'll go for the other cloud and leave this little altitude against the wind. And if he's not getting this lift, very good.
It looks like a good lift he just got there, so he might be gaining something, but again, right now, variation off the course. If you variate off that center line, especially going downwind, you have to make up again. You have to come back up, meaning you're flying against the wind slightly because it's crosswind. So you're flying against it crosswise. And again, these little nuances towards the last 80 kilometers to the finish line may gain or lose you cost you the win,
Yes.
And as you can see over there in the distance, you have Arthur and Vitold. They found the thermal as well under that cloud. So, and it's also a strong thermal. So, again, you're taking a chance, and I guess that's what you have to do. Most of them followed ZBY, Zulu Bravo Yankee. Interesting. This race ain't over until the fat lady sings.
Yeah. nice Sprichwort.
Right. I think I learned that from the movie blank. Independence Day. Independence Day. Yeah, and the main actor who's sitting in the spaceship, and he thought he's done and has to smoke smoke his cigar. But in the end, they weren't done yet because the fat lady hasn't sung yet. So that's where I came from. That's where I learned it from. Will Smith is the actor. Will Smith. Right. So JJJ, 1,250 meters up. Found a bit of a lift right there. And Cuba is in the lead. Only 850 meters. He'll definitely have to catch another thermal here before he flies home. Because that ain't enough.
That's interesting for him right now, and there are not that much options ahead. There's one cloud above which he's aiming for, above this little lake once again. lake thermals are the best for today, so you might get 5 meters out of it. No, I'm kidding. But there's not another option on this next track.
There's the new one forming in the distance, as you can see. There's one falling apart, and right behind it is one forming right now. You see it to the left? There it
Oh,
is.
yeah. Okay. Oh, yes, you are right.
Forming.
That's perfect
That's
on the
a
line.
nice cloud right there that's forming. But if it would be me, if this one has a good thermal in it, I'll take it.
Go for it. Definitely go for
There we
it.
go. Come and go. Nothing.
They have
Risky.
still 60 kilometers to go. It's still some distance. So
Right.
they might definitely need this final turn towards.
Okay, Jay's turning right now, so he found something which is good. JJJ is following. He's 1,150 meters up, and Cuba was only 750 meters up. So this is interesting. And we have now Vitoria coming with 1,500 meters, and look at that. And Arthur's right next to it. I love this kind of close-ups. That's like, you can hear that, by the way, when you're sitting with headphones. You can hear that plane on your right or left side when you're flying like this. This is super close. They may not even see each other. That's dangerous almost, but it's super fun to watch this right now.
Very nice, yeah. They are seeing each other. I think they're flying together. But this was very cool. Just saying, hello, I'm there. I'm with you, Vitold, and go for it. Yes.
Nudge you a little bit. Tough, but it's nice to see.
Come with me, Vitold. We can do it. We can grab him. We can get Kilo Juliet and JJJ. Just do our thing.
Right.
So that's very suspense, because we have 3 Polish guys sandwiching 1 Belgium guy. And if they work together, like Kilo Juliet can say, oh, this cloud is not the best. Go for the other one. The others can get a little bit of advantage from behind and get closer to JJJ and maybe grab this second place of the day. Or JJJ is doing good and climbing here with 3.1 meter. And
what is Cuba doing? How is his lift? Is this doing a good lift or is it a bad lift? I mean, he's so far ahead, but how is Cuba's lift? Is he going up or is he going? What is he doing here? Oh, Cuba! Oh. Risky boy.
You see,
that's he's taking that new cloud. He saw that new cloud. I'm telling you, and he's going for it. But boy, are you risky! Man, Cuba.
It's so blue after that. It's his final chance right now. He definitely needs to turn. It's 600.
I mean, his first name is like Cuba. He has a big cigar, he's smoking the, I mean, like, that's a Cuba, my son, Cuba. That's I'm looking forward to see what this cloud has in store for you. Better something good, because the rest of the family is behind and trying to catch you. That's so risky, man.
It's very risky. He's speeding up right now, and I will have a look at the map, how high.
Yeah, he's going up. He found the thermal. He's taking it. New cloud. Here we go. Now I need my
Norman. It's full of water there. Already
more water. Jesus Christ.
Your green T-shirt is already disappearing through the day. Yeah, because you have a green wall behind. We need to.
Is that what? Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
You have a green screen behind, as I don't have. You can see my background already, sometimes a little bit. But
I can see actually it's getting light behind me. What's going on? I think I need to adjust my lighting here.
No, it's fine. Not our stream guide, Timothy, can do it. Look.
There we go. Thank you for adjusting that. I looked like a little square.
Yeah, better now. It's way better. But he makes
Thank you, Tim. But again, Cuba is doing good. He's getting his lift that he needs because he was really, really low. But Vitold is now catching up with JJJ again, and Arthur as well. God, this is
so interesting. So, guys, if you are still on it here, please write your bet who's winning today in the chat. You follow the
or any other comments that you have. I mean, we love comments because we can respond to it and possibly answer some questions that you have. Please talk to us. I can see there's people watching. We have a lot of people watching right now. So we know we know who we believe in, but who do you believe in?
Yes.
Or let's say this one: who do you believe is going to be third, fourth, and fifth? That's my question. Third, fourth, and fifth. Give me your bet.
Go for it in the chat right now. We'll see.
I'm waiting for the answers to show up. Come on, guys. Give me your bet.
And we need to breathe a little bit right here. So yeah, we have Sander Terpstra already going for JJJ. He said he will win the day, and it's a good bet. Very good bet. And we have another one.
Sander is not going to be some. Jerome might be. Well, we'll find out. I think he's going to be second. But my question is right here: third and fourth and fifth, because you can, in this view, you don't really see Jerome is quite ahead of them, and the same height.
It's not that far. It's so close right now. It's so close. And if Arthur is a bit behind, he can use this little bit more of energy at the final glide and maybe melt this 1 kilometer, or how much is it? And that's so interesting. But yeah, as Sander already said here in our chat, Jörgen is a master of final glide. And we have another bet of Scene. And he said first one Kilo Juliet, second one JJJ, and third one Whiskey Romeo Whiskey. Okay,
that's on Twitter.
That's on Twitch. Yeah, on Twitch. And fourth will be Norman, and fifth will be Ben. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Take it.
But yeah, I will try my best on the final glide now.
Well, okay. Hold on. Where is my? Here we go.
And we already have a swap here. You can see while Norman is
finally. I have to adjust my little trim right here. I trim it. Here we go. A little high. Here we go. Off we go. A little tick.
Norman, your water is on your forehead.
Sweat. I'm sweating. Here we go. My sweat is there. I hope the FAI don't mind us being funny about this or having some fun. We want to keep it real and fun. I mean, we can sit here like, no, that's not who we are. We're serious about what we do. Safety is very important in flying, no doubt about it, and we should make fun of it. But when we talk about the finish line, look at that. Cuba finding a massive lift, taking it, because he's only 1,000 meters up. So everyone else is look at that JJJ.
Yeah, we see him coming into that
Sander, lift. What the heck? What do you know?
Yeah. Where
that is impressive. I can't believe that this is happening. Cuba lost this. And look at there, Arthur and Vitold coming as well. Wow, what a turn of events. You've been leading the entire race, and you took the risk of flying too low. And now we're looking at this. Wow, Sander, I got to give it to you. That is very impressive. I'll be watching out for your quote next time for sure.
That's very good. Very well done again from JJJ, of course. As we said, it's important to sometimes if you are on the final glide and you are in a second or third position, it's way better. You can see the mistakes of the first one flying, and it's so interesting to see the pressure that's on this first pilot who's leading towards the finish line, and you are always struggling. Okay, should I go for the next cloud? Should I don't? Should I stay or should I go? Another song right here.
I just see a comment from Sandra. She says, Jerome will be our opponent at the EGC 2022. I'm just spying. Spying, she is. Or he is. He is spying. But
Yeah.
look at this. He's going to cloud base. JJJ is, then Arthur, then Vitold, and then Kuba. And that's how that top four is going right now. And then the rest is coming. Armin Güttler, SCR. I have to look at that name.
Stefan Beach. It's Stefan Beach. German one.
Stefan, Frank is there. Helmut is there. Everybody is coming onto that cloud. And boy, Jerome, heads up. I guess we call this the commentator curse. We should never say who we think gonna win because the commentators curses the pilot and see what happens.
Killed him today. But
I would have never guessed that. Never. He looked so strong.
So interesting to see this final thermal there. Everybody's now in, and that's it for the race. We have 46 kilometers to go with 1,500 meters, so no more thermal to come. It's just about flying straight into the finish line. And
you're saying that final glide, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, they are on final glide right now, and they're just going for the final turn, and there's no cloud in front, so it's perfect for Jeroen taking this final thermal and just going for the final glide. 200 kilometers per hour, McReady setting of 2.5 or 2.1, something like that, and that's the overall day average climb. I would say maybe a little bit better, so they could have flown a bit faster, but overall Kilo Juliet, he lost it at the end, and that's what I said. It was too much pressure, or he made one or two bad mistakes right there, and then Jeroen just went for a straight line and found this awesome final lift and joined in. And zack, done.
Suck. And Jerome, as a matter of fact, if you look at the overall, he's actually only 17th. And now the Belgium is coming up on the ranking with leading. I'm not saying he's going to win because the race ain't over until the fat lady sings. But if he would win right now, he would really gain some extra points. Arthur, who is in overall, is right now in 8th place and following JJJ. Good standing, good adding to his points, and we know behind you there's Vitold and all the rest that we just saw in the thermal, in the big gaggle. Again, it's going to throw a little bit around, but Vitold is holding he's probably going to hold his first place that he's in the overall with another high scoring position right now. Very impressive, and I think Ben, you have to watch out for Vitold when it is coming around for the World Championship.
To be honest, I already did in the summer. He was second in the final as well, and we had a lot of races, and it was decided by 1 point at the last race day, and it was just the extra point for the last race day, which I got. And
why did you get the extra point?
There's in the Sailplane Grand Prix on the final day, you get 1 extra points if you are the fastest one. And
so if you cross the line first, you get an extra point. Is that it?
If you win the last day, you get 11 points rather than 10 points.
Oh, and that extra point gave you the gold medal.
Yes, and wow. he needed to be fourth, and I needed to be first, and it was like that at the last day, and that was, it was so close, really. And he did so great flying and so well done. And he's such a nice guy. I don't know if you have seen him, and he's a lovely guy from Poland, sitting here.
You actually, the World Championship that you're talking about that you've won was my introduction into the virtual soaring.
Oh, cool.
I followed Stefan Lange on his YouTube channel because of the real gliding, and then by chance I stumbled on the virtual racing, and I was like, what's going on here? And I was like searching around, looking around, and then all of a sudden I saw, I think, the second and third day of the final races, and I was like, whoa, this is really wicked cool. And then I found Condor, and I bought Condor and started flying. But it was basically of the races that you're just talking about that I was so intrigued by this world of flying that it got me back into real flying, number one, but also flying Condor. Since September, I've been flying Condor, and I decided to pick it up for real in October. I said, I got to do this in real life too, whether just flying in the virtual world. And here I am doing both. I'm flying Condor, flying in real world, and due to the wonderful opportunity with Jerome and Sebastian and Tim and you, I'm here with you right now on the screen and commentating. And a bit of my history, I actually have done many, many e-sailing commentating for broadcasting e-sailing TV. That was in 2019, 20, and 21 during the pandemic. I was very much involved in e-sailing, so virtual sailing, because I'm actually a sailor, another passion of mine, until I swapped over and became a glider, a soarer. Here I am. So this is my history about why am I here and why am I so intrigued by what I'm seeing. And you guys were always, JJJ was part of this. You were part of it, of course, Vitoid, and others as well. Great to see them now and have flown with them myself in other competitions on the virtual world. I learned fast that there's a lot of nuances that you have to learn, little things, tweaking it here and there that make you better. And look at him right now. He's right on Arthur, and it's kind of like what we saw yesterday, this close little race between Arthur and Vitoid that we saw yesterday during the third race. And we're in the same situation again. I hope this time Arthur stays cool and doesn't give up this little bit of lead that he has, because now it's the tweaking that you talk about, the settings of the trim setting and the flap, flying the right flap, because all of this will determine if you just gain that extra little meter here and there. Very important. And then we have Kuba again, and he's now trailing in fourth, and he flies super good, but he seems to be a little nervous too. He might not be flying autopilot. I don't know what he's doing. Look at that. He's going left, going right. All these little adjustments will lead to a little bit more distance and height.
Yeah, to me personally, I've never I never fly with the autopilot, so it's me wobbling around as well.
Oh, really?
But
is there a reason why you don't fly autopilot?
I never used it. I don't know. Even in Condor 1, I use it when I go to toilet or something like that, or grab some chocolate or anything. But I've never used it while I'm flying, because I think if I'm in the cockpit, or if I'm flying even with VR, I'm flying with VR.
With the goggles, you got one of those. I don't. Okay.
Yeah. And it doesn't make sense at all. You are in it, so you don't want to fly with autopilot.
Huh.
It's
interesting.
So just flying with your stick, and it went quite well so far. So I like to see in Condor 3. Just I was thinking about maybe to add something like that the abusive use of autopilot can get reduced, because as you said,
you mean like you only have a certain amount of autopilot per race?
Yeah, for example, so you have like 5 autopilots. That's just an idea of myself, that you have just like 5 autopilots per race or something. That
I would do it by minutes. If you have a task that is 200 meters, 200k long, it takes about an average of an hour and a half. So you say it's 10% of that or something like this. So an hour, a minute and a half or 2 minutes of autopilot max, depending on the task.
For example, yeah, that's an idea as well, a good idea at that point. That's right. Because it's okay to use it, because everybody can use it. But to me, you can't do it in real life as well. So if you want to have it more realistic, there shouldn't be an autopilot at all.
That's the one thing I've actually noticed when I start flying solo, it's like, there is no P button, there's no autopilot, there's no such thing. And sometimes I'm like, oh man, it would be nice, like, oh, I want to take a picture, or oh, I want to look at what. No, you have to constantly keep your head, and always look around and make sure everything is all right. And the weather, at least here in Florida, can be quite rough. So the thermals are really rough. Your wings are going up and you're down, and you're getting slapped left and right. So it's not like smooth soaring all the time. That weather happens late in the afternoon, maybe when the thermals are dying out, or you're really high up and you're just going smooth. But in real life, when you have the wind that ripping apart the thermals, it's a whole nother story. You're constantly adjusting with your stick, or you're constantly doing with your work with the rudder to make sure you're staying in the direction that you want it to go. Totally different than flying on Condor, personally, my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah, it's nice.
But here we go.
Nice.
Jerome coming up to the turn point 4 before he goes zip to the last point, to the finish line. So he has 800 meters. I think as you said, he's on final glide. If he's not, that would be a big surprise.
Yeah, I think they all are going for the final glide right now. There are some clouds between, so there should be enough altitude. They have 16 kilometers for Vitold.
So here's an interesting point of view. Thanks, Tim, for showing this. See, Vitold is on the right side, right? Closer to the right side of the column, which is the circle that they can fly through to fly through the turn point. Where Arthur is slightly to the left, right? And see, now he's turning, right? But Vitold is doing the shortest distance to turn point finish. So he's already cutting a couple 100 meters to the right because he wants to fly the shortest distance, because he knows that's his only chance to beat Arthur.
Yeah, especially on these final glides, it's very important.
Right. So JJJ is now coming up to the turn point. You can see it's a circle, I think, of is it 500 meters or 1,000 meters diameter?
I think 500.
All right. So it's a 500-meter diameter. He's flying through it now. Bloop. And congratulations there. I think Arthur is doing the same thing in a sec here. And then Vitold is behind it. And I think this is how they're going to finish. Because Vitold is also lower, slightly lower than Arthur. And there's no clouds in between. Oh, he's actually slightly higher.
He's slightly left, yeah. And he's taking the shortest distance through the sector right now. And that's a 1, 2, 3. They are almost at the same distance, everybody.
And actually, he's going more to the right to catch maybe that look at that. He has a bit of lift. So he's gaining a bit more height, which he can use then for speed. That's going to be interesting. And this might be where he passes Arthur right there. That's the reason why he did what he just did. Very nice, smart, very strategic, impressive.
Good spot of the thermal. I would like to see that. I'm a detour person. I like to fly detours all of the time, even though it doesn't make sense. But that's so nice, and he's on the way right now. Maybe he's able to catch Arthur.
So he's flying 184 average, 185. Let's wonder at 186. He's speeding up. 187, 188. I wonder where Arthur is. What's his speed? Tim, can you go over and tell me what his speed is? 190. So he's flying faster even. Oh, this is going to be tight.
And Arthur only has a margin of 100 meters left too.
Well, but that you can pull up and you probably gain 100 meters.
Yeah, of course you can, but it's still 7 or 6 kilometers to go for Arthur, so it's some kind of a distance, and every altitude you have right now you can use to speed.
And look at Vitold. He's speeding up 198, 199. He's definitely hitting the pedal right now and saying, I have the extra height. This is going to be a couple of seconds to the finish line. I mean, boy, oh boy, that is going to be a tight finish.
A totally tight finish. Even Jöran is already finished. I think he has 440 meters going for that final. Congrats to him for this awesome patience on final glide. He did a very good comeback throughout the race.
Sanders says, thanks for the evening. See you next time. Congrats, Jerome. Yeah. I'll give you that, because if nothing else happens, unless he gets a blue screen or something like this, but I doubt it. So thank you, Sander. Yes, you're welcome, and looking forward to see you tomorrow, because we will be back tomorrow at the same time, live streaming starting around 2:30 UTC time, which is 18:30 European time. And there he is, only seconds away from the finish line. And look, he's slow. He's flying slow. He's only flying 168 compared to 200. What Arthur and Vitold are doing.
Yeah, they need to be at 400 meters for the finish line, so he need to pull up a little bit.
Yeah, and he probably will.
And then he can finish in the finish circle or half circle.
He's actually releasing the water right now to get extra height.
I think it's the water on his forehead, which he's dropping right now.
There we go. And now he has to pull up.
Congrats, Jeroen.
Jen winning the third day tag. Here we go. This is the final. Is it Arthur? Who is it? My goodness.
It's so close. Very, very close race.
Pull up, pull up, pull up.
But it's Arthur.
It's Arthur. That is fantastic. Great job. And what a final. Good. Let's go behind it. Let's see who's going fourth and fifth. Come on, quickly, Tom. We have Kuba in fourth. And he's low. Look at his height. He's very low.
Without that much speed, but he's as well. It's Zulu Bravo Yankee speeding up, trying to get the final 400 meters, but he's only 130 kilometers. That will be very close.
And coming from behind with lots of speed. There is a lot of action. Armin Güttler coming in as well as this is great for the last of the race. They are low, so they have to gain another 100 meters, guys. I hope you can make it there. This is going to be tough, tough, tough. Yo, 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 guys.
It's very interesting.
Did you read the notice? Huh? The notum, as they call it. Notum. Boah.
Oh, he's speeding up. That's interesting if he can catch Kilo Juliet.
Yeah, but he still has to get height. He needs still 100 meters to pull up. So, and now Armin is pulling up. Okay, Kuba is pulling up.
Do they have enough height? I think they don't.
It's 350 they need. They only need 350, not 400.
That wasn't enough. I'm not sure. We can see in the results later, but if I'm right, they need 400 meters of altitude. So
I am going to the task description. I'm not getting it. Oh, come on. Oh, I have it. Hold on. I have it somewhere.
There's Frank. Frank, you are not in the sector. What are you doing, guys?
What is he doing?
They don't have 400 meters for the final guys. That's a pity for these guys.
You think they have
desperately trying to get the 400. Oh no, Frank, we lost you. But our French guy Harvey is able to.
It's just crawling over the line. It's like, no, I'm going to keep it up high, guys. I'm just crawling over it. And there's KMI coming in the background. I mean, what a race here at the finish line. Crazy stuff happening. Wow. Love that kind of entertainment for all of us. And here's Bruce Fadden saying, very entertaining and good job, commentators. I want to thank you for freely sharing some golden nuggets of knowledge that I will put to good use. Bruce McFadden, LIG. And then we have Antoine, our dear friend. It's 350 meters minimum. So they're all good. We were like, did we forget? We should know. Ouch, ZBY is not going to be enough. ZBY did not make it, did he? Did he not make it? Does he have to find? Is he landing? Where is the ZBY? Is he trying to find a thermal somewhere? Or that's going to be a toughie. But we have the other ones coming in. You can see there's JEG. And they have some stragglers. Gad is in the back. 007. RB Oscar 7. I'm sorry. RPB. The stragglers are coming in. Ronnie Lindell came in as well. What a race. Beautiful to watch. And I want to thank all of you viewers out there. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this incredible race and wonderful finish. And Sean Churchill, one of the British folks, saying, hey, Norman, Hey, and Ben, good job. Yeah, man. Cheers.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. It's fun to be here with you guys. And oh, I like that one. I want to do the other one. Here we go.
Yes. What? Oh, falsch. Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Thank you,
We'll
guys.
get the overall results. Will come in about an hour. So we'll talk about it tomorrow for sure. And Ben, it was fun as well for me to do this for the first time with you. I'm honored to sit next to you across the ocean. And cool. I like to say, Tim, thank you in the background. He's behind the monitors, so he's doing a wonderful job.
Thank you, Timo. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. So thank you, Timothy. I really appreciate your and he fades me out. Aw. What did I do, Tim? Did I lose my? No, I'm still here, right?
Goodbye. Yeah, Norman is still here, but he's not there. Anyway, he just went to Timothy behind the screens. Norman, you can come back. I don't know. Anyway, we can still hear them in the background. So yeah, I will thank you as well for watching today. It was great fun. I can't be there tomorrow. I hope Antoine can stream with you together from Boras live. We don't have info for it yet, but maybe you can do it tomorrow. But I will be back on Friday with you, Norman, so we can. Yes. I make you. That's you speaking. I but you. Yeah, we lost you, Norman. But can we still hear you? I'm not sure.
Ah,
Hello. Hello, Norman,
live,
once again.
live long and prosper.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for these nice little round-up words today. It was great sitting with you here on this table as well. Thank you, Timothy, for making this possible. Thank you to Antoine and Sebastian, for having us here today. It was great fun following this switching race, which we were sure which was decided before turn point 3, but that made a big change on the final glide. So
I have to say, I'm really surprised actually that Kuba did not finish this race as a winner. And as we can see, when you're in the lead, you can easily make mistakes. And it's not just the flying mistakes. It's basically you get the pressure, you feel the pressure, and so this is fun, but it's also is seriously intention are high. The competition feeling is strong. So you'd be surprised if you never flown Condor. Please check it out. Please sign up. And if it intrigues you to practice flying, this is the coolest thing to do. It's environmentally friendly and it's fun. And so hope to see you out there in the sky somewhere in real life or on the YouTube on the channel right here. And Ben, thank you again. And we'll see each other tomorrow again, same time, same place. Thanks, guys.
thank you very much and have a nice evening. Well flown, everybody. And Norman, good luck tomorrow, and greetings to Antoine, and we see each other on Friday. Thank you. Goodbye.
Cheers.